So here we are at another in American Megafauna. This is the beginning of the Cenozoic era. It's a little smaller than the Mesozoic. The card for the turn was headbutting, and the birds took it, and now they've got the sex advantage too. Kind of strange looking at birds whacking their heads together, but it went for a total of 6, which seems reasonable. Speaking of the birds, our carnivorous squizzards are able to jump out and capture the birds now. Otherwise, not a lot's changed. And let's see what the next card is. I'll try to move these faster. Food storage. Just a P value. Pretty weak, actually. The squizzards got it. And we got a new card coming up. Nothing else happened. Ooh. Depends on how big you are. It's armor crushing. Wow, that could be an interesting card because there's a lot of armor here that needs crushing. These things are armored. This could be an interesting card for, I don't know, who has marine and wants more armor crush. Well, it's an interesting card for them because they can sail in here, especially now that they have food storage. They can sail in here and grab these. So that's the big determinant on this one, is whether or not they can get there. Now the question then becomes, is there anything? See, there's also carnivores who are interested in it. The turtles are going to be interested in it to get into the ability to eat those things. I don't know if they'd have that ability with these fish got to be careful. They've gotten small enough that I think they're going to lose their carnivorous advantage. Uh-oh. Well, indeed, I do believe that our fish carnivores are in trouble. In fact, that we're seeing a massive upheaval here started by our friend the crocodile, who's decided to become a carnivore. He just slid up. He goes late in the player turn order, and that's always the case, so he has this surprise ability, especially with Dogface out of the game. He is the last person. And he's just completely disrupted everything. It's because these are too small. They're size 3. They pump themselves up, but his size is 4, so he's going to beat them in some niches. Not here, he doesn't have enough M. But, oh no, that doesn't matter. No, he's a carnivore. So, yeah, he's able to eat this, and he's bigger. So, he's going to win. It's that simple. It's kind of a hard thing because you got to keep your eye on what everybody else's values are to see, can I change what's going on. I think in a small number of players, I played in 2 or 3, it wasn't bad, but here in 5, it's going to be really hard to keep track of all those critters near you, and it's especially hard solitaire. Alright, I'm going to take care of the movement and see how this all shakes out, but this is really an attempt by one of the leading players, player 4 with 15 points, to take down player 1 with 15 points. And he also sees that he's going to hurt the turtles a lot by removing their food source, which was his alligators. Alright, let's see. And boy, are the animals different now. It was a serious move by the crocodile. So he's taken over eating all of the squizzards. Not the carnivorous ones, obviously. They're still around eating birds or horses. But, oh, Yeah, they're still big enough to eat birds. Oh no, they're too big to eat birds. No, he couldn't up them. It didn't help his situation any. So yeah, they're finding a couple of places where they're living, but they're no longer living off of his own species. And his own species is doing what it was before. I mean, it's still over here. It's just now it's being eaten by the crocodiles. What was not so bad for the crocodiles about this, because basically both they and the squidzards took this huge hit to hurt the turtles, as far as I can see. I mean, the turtles took the real hit here. There's only one of them left. They're really at risk. They can only eat these things now, the tuskers, and they're really not a viable creature. Well, to make it worthwhile to have done this is only because of the birds. The birds were able to flock into areas where the crocodiles were, and they'll be able to continue into these, I believe, because they have the armor now to actually eat that. So it seemed like it was just a tipping point that put them into a place where they can eat a lot of the stuff that our crocodiles were eating. And I can probably remove this on the next turn. Of course, I would see. I want to kind of switch these. I want to get sex over on him and the eating abilities onto the birds, but giving sex up for a turn, that can be pretty harsh. Yeah. Okay. I mean, these turns are long, man. Okay, so I'm going to go to the next card. I'm not going to turn it over right now because I got things to do. Okay, we have another catastrophe. It's a viral epidemic. Player with fused genes removes one genotype. That's this guy. Now, I noticed the last time the one that killed Dogface off the game. Oh, he owes a coin. He had a problem with that. There's a problem with that one. In the rules, it's supposed to only be people who have more than one genotype. Again, I think that's kind of a little bit of a cheat in favor of players who are doing poorly. So rather than using it as a leveling agent, I think it should be straight up. Hey, you got the least genes, you're going. So who's dying? This is a hard choice. I got my birds, which are finally swamping into everywhere. And then I have my new carnivores. Wow. I don't know. I really don't know which to kill. I don't want to lose sex. It's too good. I'm going to kill off the dinosaurs. The reptile. And we'll just pull him off the map, and then we'll see what floods in to take his place. But that's a serious penalty for him for having spent so many chips. Haha! I finally found the masked acorns. They're almost invisible here. That would allow things with Husker ability, and I see there's a couple of places that have them to eat. Yeah, that's not very clear. I'm not sure that improved in the second version because these were what I kept looking at. They're what looks like what he was pointing at, and nothing else really looked like an acorn. So maybe the cards are getting better because I was playing with a set that I think was really this set marked up for the new game. But yeah, that's I hope that improves because that's really, really painful. So the loss of competition has made these little plesiosaur type things very, very prevalent. They're all out, and they feed on birds. They feed on the horse things, they feed on their own squid slurs. The only other carnivore out there is still the turtle, and he's feeding on the one remaining tusker still. We've got anything that's completely immune. Well, birds and land are immune, but otherwise everything can get eaten that is out there. There's nothing too secret. Let's pull another card. Some more pea. I mean, it's worth getting, but nothing exciting. Alright, so we had another jarring change, which is that these marine horses decided to become carnivorous. They decided to do this because they looked and said, hey, same thing that the alligator had. I'm bigger than those fish. I can eat better than them. The things that I can eat, which doesn't include birds. Okay, so maybe this won't turn out as poorly as the last one, but they ended up eating pretty much the squidlizards, sorry, wherever they exist, but not the birds, and they're much, much smaller now. Culling, whatever attempt they made to cull the carnivores actually hurt themselves, and we're seeing some of these fish things have taken over areas where they used to be, so it didn't work out very well for them. What we did see was these fishies able to perform the game warden role. It's the first time I think in the game that it's happened. It's the only thing that was able to eat everything in the hex. The whole hex, not just the biome. That's weird. So it could say, okay, kill this one. You know, among things that otherwise wouldn't have died due to what? There's one rank before that. Well, Niche and Roadrunner win out before that. But yeah, he was able to make some choices. So, for example, here, he killed the birds off because the birds are owned by someone whom he's competing with more closely in points. Alright, I'm going to wrap this one up because we're at the 10-minute mark or whatever that I like to kill things at. And then we'll start over with another vid.